Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? My name is Shivam and today I wanted to talk to you guys about how you can actually start earning more money in 2019, but just following a couple of basic principles that I have personally followed in my life and has significantly helped me earn more money and save more money. And I definitely want to share these tips with you guys. But before I do start and talk about it, I want to let you guys know that this is not a get rich quick scheme kind of video. This is going to take time, patience, dedication, and consistency, but eventually you'll definitely start to see the effects of this. And another thing I want to let you guys know that you do not have to be a big YouTuber. You don't have to be super wealthy or wealthy at all. Like these kind of tips, no matter what your income level is, anyone can follow and you'll see the big impact that it can make on your life. So with that, let's get started. So the number one tip I want to share with you guys is switching to a high yield savings bank account. So a traditional bank will typically give you roughly around 0.01% interest rate on your savings. And for those who don't know what interest rate is, it's just basically a percentage that you can essentially make by just keeping your money in the bank account. So for instance, if you're keeping $100,000 in your bank account, if you're earning 1% interest rate, that means you're making $1,000 every year. You can get a higher interest rate if you switch to a different bank account. I personally use Capital One. They actually offer 2% interest rate for your savings account. Basically, you keep your money in the bank account, and every year you're going to be making 2% of whatever money you have in your savings. Capital One is running an offer right now that if you open up a savings account with them and have a account balance greater than $50,000, you'll actually make $500. Now, I'm not sponsored by Capital One or anything like that, but I personally really like that bank. I've been to their cafes. I would feel they're probably one of the most advanced banks in terms of technology, because every time I go to their cafes, it's a side story, but it's so sick. Like I feel like I'm in an Apple store. I feel like I'm in some sort of like futuristic banking system where I can go drink a coffee and also go talk to a banking associate and also just do my work on my laptop, just sitting there drinking coffee. It's actually really interesting experience that Capital One has incorporated with their banks. Anyways, yeah, I do recommend putting your savings into a high yield bank, and I'll leave a link in the description of this video with more choices of banks you can use that offer high yield savings accounts. The second tip that I want to give you guys on how you can start earning more money is to actually venture into doing some side gigs with your full-time job. I think everyone has some sort of skill to offer that they can make money from. And even if you don't have a skill that can earn you money, there's so many different part-time jobs you can get out there where you work on your own schedule and you can be making money but just by basically working a couple of extra hours a week. Maybe venturing into doing like drone photography for real estate, or maybe becoming a real estate agent altogether part-time. There's so many different industries that you can go towards that can help you earn some extra cash on the side. I know I myself do some software engineering consulting on the side, and I also do some startup consulting on the side that helps me earn some extra cash on the side apart from my full-time job. But that is something that I think everyone can actually go work towards. And it's not passive income. You do have to work for it, but at least you're just investing your time. There's no risk involved other than your time. The next thing I do want to talk to you guys about is actually investing your money, making your money do the work for you rather than you working for the money. Now, my recommendation is to keep 6 to 12 months of your income as your emergency fund in your savings account, and the rest should be invested in a diversified portfolio. Now, when I mean diversified portfolio, I don't just mean in the stock market. I mean, you should diversify your investments between real estate to stocks to anything that is a safe and reliable investment. I do want to recommend not to go into anything too risky. I recommend being pretty conservative with your investments and just making sure that whatever you're investing in, you definitely have researched it deeply, significantly, and you're confident with that investment. But I do recommend investing your money because the truth is, you should not be working so hard for your money. You should let your money do the work for you. I don't even recommend investing in any particular stock. Just go with an index fund like the S&P 500, which is a collection of different companies in the US. So you're not actually invested in one particular company. You're invested in 500 different companies as a whole. And then you just basically earn dividends which are just payments you receive just for holding that stock. The other route is going towards real estate investments, where you can buy properties and collect rent payments from your tenants. And once you collect enough payments, when you're making a profit, you can maybe use that profit to pay off your own rent wherever you're living, or if you already have your own home, you can take that rent and pay off your own mortgage. And once you have enough properties under your belt, then they're paying off all of the mortgages for those properties. Your tenants are paying those mortgages off, and on top of that, your own mortgage is getting paid off too. So it's a win-win situation. The only thing I do want to mention about real estate, typically it's more expensive if you are starting off. Now, maybe there's some cheaper properties throughout the US, but I live in the Bay Area, and the properties here are very expensive. Even in LA, you might be able to find some good deals, but it still requires a significant more amount of capital compared to investing in the stock market. But I do feel like if you do all your calculations correctly, if you're able to, just make sure that the investment makes sense, then I think it is a safer investment as long as you're able to find good, reliable tenants and don't really run into too many big troubles or hardships that you would normally experience if you're buying a rental property. My fourth tip on how you can actually start saving more money or earning more money, and this is probably one of the most important ones, is to actually budget your existing expenses. Now, I'm gonna actually leave a link to a calculator that I built out. It's just in Google Sheets. You can save the file and you can import it into Excel or whatever spreadsheet software you use. And I know that in my life, it's significantly helped me reduce my bill payments or manage my bill payments. And all it does is it's basically a simple calculator where you just list out all of your bills on the left side, and then on the right side, you list out how much you make annually after paying your taxes. And then it will tell you what percentage of your annual salary is going towards your bills and what percentage is going towards your savings. And I also implemented a compound interest calculator within the calculator itself. So it can also tell you projections of how much money you'll be saving in 10 years with investment and without investment, and what's the differences between those. And I think this is so important because it'll help you realize where your money is going. It'll help you manage your finances significantly better, and then you can choose to maybe remove certain subscriptions that are not necessary, or maybe switch to other companies that might be cheaper that are offering a similar service. And car insurance would be a perfect example of that. So I definitely recommend using this calculator, and I can make a separate video where I can explain exactly how to go about using it, but it is very straightforward. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and then I'll definitely answer them in a following video. And then the last tip that I want to give you guys on how to actually make more money in general is to actually spend time learning new things. And I think this is really, really crucial in life in general, and it's not really in relation to finances altogether, but in just for anything. I think it's so important to actually spend time learning new things, reading books, watching YouTube videos that are educational, reading articles online, whatever you can do. I would just spend at least an hour every single day to learning something new, because there's so much knowledge out there in the world, and it's, in the beginning, it seems difficult. You feel lazy. You're like, oh, I don't want to learn something new. Like, I'm pretty happy with what I already know. But once you start learning one new thing, then you kind of get hooked on it, and you want to just keep learning more and more new things. And you'll see how much of a positive impact it'll make in your life, because you'll have all this knowledge from these different topics that you can apply to your own life. And one day maybe share and help other people out as well too. And that's kind of why I'm making this video, because I've done that and I feel like I've gained enough knowledge to maybe help someone else out. So yeah, I definitely recommend reading and learning as much as possible. And that's next to free. I mean, there's so many resources online. And if you want to invest money, I would recommend also buying books, because that would be a really great investment. It might cost you $20 to buy a book, but it might return you $100,000 based off of what you learned through reading that one book. So yeah, with that, I'll end this video. If you guys found this useful, definitely press that like button below. I just started making YouTube videos. I just want to create content that really helps people. And if you guys found this helpful, definitely subscribe to me. I'm going to be making a lot more videos in the future. If you guys found this helpful, and if you guys did, then just let me know in the comments below as well. Thanks guys, have a good day.